Hey. You're live right now. only one?
Yeah, he.
I like it.
Sit right here if you like.
Oh, okay.
Good afternoon, everybody. We're here with our Wednesday cooking demo. Chef is making seafood bouillabaisse today. Excited to have some lunch and try what the weekly special is going to be this week. So, if as always, the recipes are online. If you want to try to make it at home, but you're welcome to come down to the restaurant this week and try it as well, as it's our weekly dinner special. So, we'll turn it over to Chef Dino. Enjoy yourselves, and the floor is yours. All right, welcome everyone. We're going to do seafood bouillabaisse really quick. We have a little bit of hot stock right here. We're going to add our saffron in there. So the saffron kind of helps it bleed in the liquid, and the color and flavor should come out. You want the water temperature to be at just after boiling. Let it sit, and then put the saffron in there. As you can see, it's already making our stock look a little different here with our saffron in there. Okay. Yeah, we're using the basic chicken stock, and I have a little bit of breadcrumbs. And I'm going to put gloves on for this. We're just going to do the garlic paste with the breadcrumbs and oil. So we're going to toast it up a little bit. I got a little bit of the ground breadcrumbs. Probably all of this. And we're going to mix it up. It's almost like making croutons, really. But once we add the oil, it'll turn into a paste. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and toast that a little bit before we get going here. I have the oven preheated 350. Just put it in there and kind of let it toast up a little bit. So we have a heavy steel bottom pan. I do have our recent plots together. We have our ingredients. We'll start off with the fennel. This is how you buy the fennel. Cut this off, and we can use the fronds for garnish. So we're going to set this aside here. Okay, and then with the fennel, we're just going to take the bottom off. Just like that. And then we can probably just do slices like this. Okay. Probably don't need all of this now that I'm slicing it, but you know, you do have to buy one whole one, and that was a pretty small one. Okay. So we have our diced tomatoes, sliced onions, sliced leeks. Our fennel that I just chopped up, a little bit of crushed garlic. I just took a knife and flattened it with the palm of my hand. Some bay leaves and some pepper. And our potatoes are a little bit cooked, so that way we don't have to simmer it for a good hour, 45 minutes. So we have our pan on already. It should be fairly hot. We're going to add probably about an ounce of oil in there. We're going to add our leeks. We're going to turn it down a little bit, because we just want to initially get the pan hot. You always want to, when you add something to the pan, you want to hear that sizzle. A little bit of the fennel. So we're making enough for 2 people here. And about half a small onion. We'll add some pepper in there. We can stir that. A little bit more relief. And then also our garlic. This is about 4 cloves. And I'm going to add, so we started out with 3 ounces of oil in that, just a little bit more. It's olive oil. And we're just going to lightly caramelize it to be able to smell the fennel and the garlic even through the mash. So just to kind of get a visual right of kind of what we got going on. We won't have to stir it because we're not trying to burn it or anything. But but it is advisable to use a steel pan, heavy bottom steel pan. I would prefer it over an aluminum pan. So when we kind of got a little bit of browning going on, that's when we're going to add our bay leaves and tomatoes. I'm not using gloves because we're going to be cooking our food. So if this is going in the salad, I would definitely use gloves. I did about 4 small Roma tomatoes. Again, we're cooking for 2, maybe 3. The bay leaf flew out. Let's put that back in there. So right now we're just browning, developing flavors by browning the veggies here. And we're going to set this aside. We're pretty much done with this. We're going to set aside the table there. Pepper. Going to move that out. We have our oil still. This is big. So as far as the seafood is concerned, so our color is turned into a nice yellow. I don't know if you guys remember at the beginning it was kind of pale, and I was like, got that nice. I used this is about 4 cups, about 3 cups, 4 cups, and I used about half a teaspoon of saffron. Again, the recipes are online in case you need to do a reference. I'm pretty much following it. Pretty much how it says it on there. I know sometimes I'll make a little bit of adjustment here and there, but this one's pretty straightforward. Let's take a quick peek at our breadcrumb garlic paste here. Okay. So now the fun part, we have our live lobster here, and we also have, I'll put gloves on for the lobster food. So here we have, I've got some shrimp on the bottom there, about a half pound of clams, and about 4 ounces of flour, and one of these guys. Okay, so with this guy, I guess we'll go ahead and work on it while we're kind of stewing our veggie mixture. So really, the best way to do it is to make it quick and painless. Just aim for right between the eyes, unfortunately, and really just a quick jab like that, and then straight down. Okay. I know. But this is in fact the best way to do it. That way they're not suffering in there and taking so long. I'm going to show you guys a quick after we deglaze. We're going to deglaze here. And we're going to reduce this. So we're just going to add it in there. And we're going to kind of simmer it for 20 minutes here. And put gloves on it. Show you guys the lobster here. So essentially, we're going to put all of it in there, but we want to rinse out that green stuff. The membrane. Okay. We are also going to take this guy off. We don't want rubber band flavoring in there. So you want to make sure you kill the lobster first before you take off the rubber band, hopefully. Then we're going to take our cutting board. And really, at this point, I'm just going to rinse out really quick. Rinse that out. And take off the cloth. There we go. We're going to go put it in there. Make sure you rinse it out good. There's no membrane in there, so we can go put it back. And so all the flavor will come from the the body of the shell. As it cooks, it's going to release the liquid. Some yummy, good lobster flavor. Okay, and then we're going to cover it with foil. A little bit here. Just to kind of steam it in it. And I'm going to do a little bit of salt and pepper around the lobster. And we are going to simmer it about 5 minutes till the lobster is cooked all the way through. And then we can add remaining ingredients, including the potatoes. Okay. Cover it. Simmer for a little bit. And while we're waiting for that, we are going to stir around garlic paste. You can kind of smell some of the garlic in there. This is a nice accent for the bouillabaisse. And we're just drying it out, really. It's nice to have a little bit of texture. It's going to be a slightly crunchy taste instead of a mushy taste. I've also seen this done with mayonnaise roasted garlic. But this is a pretty basic method of how we're going to do it. And then also we do have, like I said, we do have potatoes for it. Yeah, and we roasted figurine potatoes. Well, it's not roasted, but it's pre-cooked, pre-blanched. Obviously at home, we're not trying to make this video an hour long, but at home, feel free to use raw potatoes, and I would put it in there at the same time that the lobster goes in, just kind of keep letting it cook. And then we'll have a little bit of olive oil to mix in with our breadcrumbs to make that paste. And right. Now we're just kind of waiting a little bit. I can kind of hear our pan is simmering. We are going to flip over the lobster a little bit at the start. There we go. It's really almost cooked already. I'm going to make sure. Looks like a little piece of the. Oh, I'm going to take this out. Okay. And all that flavor should be going in there. All the juice coming in, coming out there. I do like to wait to add the seafood until the lobster is cooked all the way. That way it doesn't get lost in there. There's a lot of stuff going on here. And also, we're waiting for the tomatoes to kind of be super soft to where it's kind of melting into the broth there. We got a ways. But it's fairly close as far as keep it covered for another couple minutes there. And we just hang on and wait. Oh yeah, so we are using cod, eggplant, and shrimp and lobster, but you can definitely add salmon, scallops, crab claws. Snow crab claws are really fun. Or even just like Dungeness crab in there. I've seen it done with halibut. really anything. Just it just depends, you know, like how long you're gonna cook it. Like with halibut, you don't want to cook for too long. It's probably more of like you cook it separately, where you just poach it in the liquid, the halibut.
It's important then to look at the temperatures of what each one cooks.
Yeah,
The length.
yeah, definitely. Especially with seafood, you know, it's a fine line as far as like, especially with scallops and halibut. It's a fine line, really, you know, as far as overcooking it and it drying out. But you know, you have a little safety net because you're cooking it in broth. So instead of like, let's say, grilling it or searing it, you have the liquid to kind of help. So hopefully, even if you maybe did overcook it a little bit, you have the broth to kind of help and keep it not dry. Yeah. Okay. We are pretty much there. Let's take the foil off. Use the bowl. Has a little bit of breadcrumbs in it. We are going to put our lobster in here. Let it cool off for a second. I'm going to take the meat out. And of course, any juice that comes in here from letting the lobster rest, you're going to want to put it back in our pot here, okay? Because that's all flavors. We have a nice orangey color here. Trying to keep all the leeks and fennel in there. Okay. Now we're going to add the remaining seafood. It's got a nice gentle simmer right now.
Is there a good place locally to get?
Sorry, what?
Is there a place locally that we can get the lobster?
Locally, you know,
Should I get in the car and better watch my this?
well, I mean, I would say probably on Ruston Lake, Tacoma would be your best bet. I don't know if you know, it used to be Johnny's Seafood, is what it's called, but it's on Dock Street. So literally, you're on Ruston Lake waterfront, heading towards the I-5. It's right before the I-5 entrance. You take the left there to Dock Street, and then it's a really nice seafood market and also a restaurant there. So we do have fresh stuff there. So I'm going to go ahead and just place our cod in here, our clam, and our shrimp. Maybe it's enough for 4 people at this point, actually. Especially if we have, you know, a salad there and a couple other things perhaps. But, so we don't want to dump the whole pan there. As you can see, we have a little bit of probably seawater from the pan. We did rinse it out very well.
So we don't want that in there.
Yeah, you definitely, you know, that's.
Sandy.
Yeah. Although, you know, you can't really help clams. Sometimes they'll have sand in it and you just won't know. It's just kind of a little small risk to take sometimes. And it's cooking fairly quick. So I think at this point, we could cover it, but the clams are fully immersed in the liquid. So I think we're okay. So right now, hopefully our lobster's cooled down a little bit. And we are going to take the meat out and put it in the stock pot here. Actually, either that or just set it aside. Oh, our potatoes too. Potatoes. They're already cooked. It'll take a few minutes to heat up. So right now we're about 5 minutes away from Bouillabaisse goodness. So for the most part, I'm just going to show you guys real quick. For the most part, everything is immersed in there. Okay? It's 90% in the liquid, so otherwise I would cover it in case you didn't have that much liquid. So if you're having a family over, I mean, this would be just kind of bring the whole pot right on the table there. Grab some ribs and some big towels and ready to eat. Okay, so our clamps are not quite open yet, so I'm gonna let it sit there for a minute. We are going to take the meat out of our lobster. We do not want to overcook the lobster, especially. So that's why we kind of did what we did. And also, we're able to utilize the flavor from the shell. So as you can see, you're not really going to get a lot of meat in there. Kind of got the little guy in there. And, oops. Oh, let me get that juice in there. Oh yeah. So that's all yummy goodness there. Make sure you're not getting any of the shell in there. And then we do have the claw, but you can serve this on the side and just kind of have some crackers, claw crackers to crush them open with at the table. That's always a fun thing to do.
Let's make it for 2.
Probably want to make it for 4 though.
I know, but I don't want to share that.
Yeah, that is. I'm a crab kind of guy, but lobster, I do love lobster as well.
Could you use crab instead?
Yes, you could definitely use crab. Oh my gosh.
Everybody's finding us crab. Yum.
Mm-hmm. Especially during the peak of the boating season there, which I think we're just past it though. But so as you can see, well, maybe you can't see from over there. Well, we do have some good liquid that's on the bottom of the bowl. And I'm just making sure we're going to get that in there. We're not trying to, we're going to use everything. Okay? Gloves come off. We check our breadcrumbs. Should be there at this point. So we just kind of have there we go. Kind of a little crunch on the outside there. You can kind of hear it, it's pretty dry. I mean, honestly, we probably go another minute, so let's go ahead and do that. About 2 minutes. Okay? And I'm going to put this back in there. Don't lose it because then you got where the lobster goes. I swear I put lobster in there. So at this point, all the clams are open. I'm going to turn it off and just kind of let it sit here. So really, just wait till all the clams are open. So that was about 5 minutes. And that's not a shrimp, that's the lobster. Good. Okay. Now is a good time to taste it as well. It should be nice and rich, a little droppy, packed with flavor. So I'm pretty much done with those tongues. We're switching to our serving utensil. Let me go ahead and give it a quick taste. We got a clean spoon here. Oh my. Oh yeah. You know what though? A little bit of salt because it's really almost there. We're just trying to kind of really have it be popping. And now we are going to plate up a dish. Oh, we need to serve these. Would you like me to just kind of sprinkle the another minute in there? Actually, I'm going to go ahead and put you both again. And we are going to take our nice deep bowl here. We're going to just place our ingredients in there. Gently, maybe we'll set this down. necessary. I think that's the lobster there. And so we kind of want to showcase the lobster and have it a little bit in the top. That's why we have gloves on, so we can kind of play around with it. You want all the lobster in there, don't you?
Pardon?
You want all the lobster in there, right?
Yeah, sure.
There we go. Let me get a few more clean. So we have a nice, deep, rich broth, which is what we must have in order to have a good bouillabaisse. We're going to do, let's try our breadcrumbs here real quick. There we go. 350.
In my oven, I would have had them blackened by now.
Oh.
That's why I'm kind of going to.
Convection, middle shelf. And I did kind of open it a couple times without letting it heat up. So, right now we're just going to put it in the bowl, but I use the bowl for a while. This is a one medium-sized baguette. I'm gonna say about a 6 ounce piece. But this one, you know, I made enough for the rest of the day because we do have, it is on our special. But in our special it doesn't have lobster. It has everything else we substituted with salmon though. Yeah. You kind of oven up, it's kind of smaller. I'm gonna burn in there. So we're just gonna gently mix it. So it's really your preference whether you want it like paste, you want it a little bit of like a crumbly, oily. Right now I think it's perfect. It's the way I just tested this now. Kind of has that texture we're looking for. And of course salt.
So is it, when you make the cake, is it really
Well, we can.
I've done that, but I've never cooking it.
Well, really, if we don't toast it, or just toast it halfway, and toast it halfway, and then add the oil in there. The oil is what's going to make it a paste, and how soft the bread is. So at this point, you can still kind of make it more like a spreadable thing. I'm actually going to add the rest of the oil in there.
So if it's a paste, how do you use it then? You don't use it.
You serve it on the side.
Okay.
Yeah, usually it's served on the side, a little ramekin, and then you kind of like.
I'm wondering if you could take that paste and put it on like a baguette, and then,
Oh, for sure.
and then toast it a little bit more and just have like a garlic bread with crunch.
Definitely. Like I think of this is how I make croutons. So this is almost like a crumbly crouton. So we're just gonna kind of sprinkle our breadcrumbs in there, and then give it a little bit of a nice look. Also, you may have more of this on the side if you like. And then we have our fennel we're gonna use for garnishing. Trying to find a good piece. There we go.
Okay, now we can spit.
So now we are finished. We have our wonderful looking bouillabaisse. I just want to, I'll bring it over there for a quick second and then voila! That is enough for 3 to 4 people if you have a small appetite. So not for me, but maybe someone else. So just wanted to kind of show that off there. And the broth is slightly thick just from reduction and liquefying a little bit of that onion there and tomato and all that. Fennel fronds. Okay. Thank you very much. See you guys next time.